London. What do you think about when you hear this word? The Big Ben, the Tower Bridge, Harry Potter. It's a really, really distinctive city that has a really vibrant cultural life. Is it easy to live there? No, it's super, super expensive and it's actually suffering from a housing crisis. In the previous video, I shared my negative experiences and all the research I did on living in London. I lived in London for 1 year. Of course, that's not enough to give you like a really, really full overview, but I think that I tried to cover everything that you really have to know, because to be honest, when you see London in the movies, in the TV series, it looks so fabulous, it looks amazing, but of course the reality is a little bit different than what you see, and of course it's always going to be a bit different for a native Londoner, a native English person, than for an immigrant who just moved there and is trying to find their way, right? But today I really want to focus on the positive things that I really, really, really loved about living in London. So let's get to it. So I mentioned that London is a really culturally diverse and vibrant city. I really loved that. It was just amazing. So many people, so many different people, so many different restaurants, cuisines to try, like also street food from different cultures, from different countries. There was always something to do, there was always some cool band playing. It was just so lively. I think it's a really, really vibrant city. There was also a lot of free events to do. And I do have to mention here that the museums, most of the museums are free. So if you go there as a tourist, that's such an amazing opportunity, I think. And I really appreciate that they try to keep most of the museums free. So they are accessible to young people, students, lower income people. I think that is really important. What I also really love about London, but actually that's not only true about London, but the entire UK, is that it's so distinctive, like the architecture. Like if you go to a London pub, a British pub, you will always have this really, really distinctive, really unique. You won't see anything like that in any other countries. It's just so unique to them and their culture. And I love that they are really trying to keep these things. So for example, when you would have like an old building with this really typical kind of British architecture that is, you know, so distinctive, right? Like if you see a picture, you instantly recognize that this is a building from the UK. So if they do that, they will not, you know, just demolish the whole thing and build something boring and modern instead, right? But they try to keep the facade, and they do the same with the phone booths, the double deckers. So they could all be replaced by these modern looking things. But no, that's the charm, that they actually keep the traditional look of all of these things, and I just really love that, because it's also really good for marketing, right? Like branding, basically. Like if you see that the red phone booth, if you see the red double decker, you will know that it's the UK, it's London, it's, you know, Britain. If I try to compare how easy it is to talk to people here in Belgium as opposed to the UK, it was a lot easier to talk to people in the UK. Even in pubs, just, you know, complete strangers, you would just meet new people and just talk to complete strangers all the time. I don't know, everyone was just really open, especially after drinking a few pints, right? I feel like here in Belgium, like they are more reserved and they just want to hang out with their little close-knit groups, and they are not really looking for to meet like new people or to talk to new people. Whereas in the UK, this was just really nice and really lively. There were also these cheap shops that you could buy things for just £1. That was really great. That really helped me out a lot when I was a broke immigrant. But also there are the charity shops where you can buy secondhand things. The money that you pay for these secondhand products will go to a charity. So that's always also nice. I always like secondhand shopping because it's more environmentally friendly. If it also supports a good cause, then it's just way better, right? And I also like them, of course, because they are cheap. And as an immigrant, you are mostly on a budget, right? So at least in the beginning. So I think they were just really useful and I really loved them. I also really love the double deckers. So these are the two-floor buses, right? That are super distinctive to London, but not just London, but basically the entire UK. It's just really fun because you only have one door. You go in, you meet the driver, you say hi when you pay for the fare. You also do that when you get off, so I think that's just super nice, you know, just having this contact with the driver that you don't really have on the public transport in other countries. And then you can go upstairs, and that's basically like you know, these tourist buses that you have to pay loads of money to, and then you can sit upstairs and see all the sights, right? So it can be like a cheaper version of that sometimes, if you're not stuck in traffic, of course, but you can get stuck in traffic with the tourist buses as well. So I think just the pubs are not just like really, you know, they look super nice and they are really I don't know, distinctive, but I also really liked that they would just give you water for free. Whereas in most European countries, if you go to a pub or a restaurant and you want some water and you ask for tap water, they will be like, and then you can buy like this small bottle of mineral water for like 3 or 4 euros. I think especially when it's, you know, really hot with the climate change today, it's just so unfair not to give free water to people, especially when it's like 35 degrees. I just don't know. So I really like that in the UK that they really do give out free water. And then another thing is, it seems like a small thing, but it just made your life so much easier, right? So in London, but actually in the entire UK, if you go to a grocery shop, like a supermarket, you can buy painkillers or some kind of medicine, and you can do that for really cheap, right? So you can, for example, buy painkillers for like £1, £2, but also they have these big drugstores where you can buy everything from makeup to shampoo to loads of different kind of medicine, I don't know, pregnancy test, allergy pills, basically any over-the-counter medicine, and you can buy that really, really easily, and you can also buy it for really, really cheap. And I actually really like that because both in Hungary and Belgium, you have to go to the pharmacy for that. In Belgium, if you go to a pharmacy most of the time, there will be just one person behind the desk, and there will definitely be some person there who is like, I want to shop that and that and that, and just like taking their time and like buying up the entire pharmacy, and you're like standing there like, oh my god, I'm in pain, I feel sick, and then you're just like waiting there for 15 minutes for that one person to finish their shopping. And it's just so annoying, and it was just so much easier to go to a drugstore or a supermarket. Also, the pharmacies are expensive, really, really expensive. So if I go and buy some painkillers, in a pharmacy here in Belgium, sometimes I pay even like 15 euros. Whereas if the doctor subscribed it and they just give me like this no brand painkiller like ibuprofen or paracetamol or something like that, it can be like 1 or 2 euros as well. But of course, if I don't have a prescription from the doctor, then they will just give me a branded one that costs 15 euros. So that's something that I really miss from living in London and living in the UK. And well, London is so huge. It's just crazy. If you want to travel from the southern part to the northern part, that will take you more than 2 hours, even with the tube. You know, the tube is pretty fast, but still, it's just such a huge territory to cover. And there are many different neighborhoods with really different vibes. And if you are a tourist and you go to London, then most of them what you will see, right, is just the really central district with the Hyde Park and the Buckingham Palace and the Piccadilly Circus and Oxford Street. So, but it's really different if you go like a bit to the outskirts and discover some other neighborhoods as well. So, for example, you might know about Camden Town, which is in the north of London, and it used to be a bit like this alternative indie music ground for like these really alternative people. Now it's more like hipster ground, I think. It became a lot more commercial than when I visited London like ages ago. I still like it, I think. It's not my favorite part anymore, definitely. They have a statue for Amy Winehouse, and they have loads of like souvenir shops, and I don't know. It looks nice, but for me, it just lost the charm. My favorite neighborhood in London was Brixton. So it's in the south. This is more like a rugged neighborhood. There's always loads of great concerts there. There's always loads of things happening. It's a really diverse neighborhood. You will have like these markets. You will have I don't know, these preachers on the corner of the street trying to tell you that Jesus loves you and trying to convert you, or it's just a really lively neighborhood, you know. And they often organize like free events or just really cool events where you can get together. So yeah, I really enjoyed that neighborhood, and I spent a lot of time there. And last but not least, things that I loved about living in London, and please don't judge me, the food. So British cuisine has a reputation of being awful. I don't know, honestly, I really liked the food in the UK. There are a lot of Indian restaurants. I just love curry. I love Indian food. It was great, but you could find food from all over the world. It was super nice. But to be honest, I also like the British food, right? So like the pies. I like the Sunday roast, which is like a dinner where they like roast an entire chicken, and they also roast some vegetables and potatoes, and they make Yorkshire pudding and some gravy, and I think it's really nice. The British foods is I would say it's really greasy, like there's a lot of fat in it. I think they cook with a lot of butter. That for me it makes it more yummy. I'm happy that I don't live there anymore, because I think I gained like 5 kilos living in London. So these are my 10 things I loved about London. Let me know what you think. Let me know what things you loved about London. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. And of course, let me know what topics you would like me to talk about in my videos. If you like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. That helps a lot. And please like this video as well, and if you think it would be useful to someone you know who maybe are moving to London or something, please do share it with them. And as always, thank you very, very, very much for watching, and I will see you next week.